Howdy, and welcome back to the Chicken Police, into the Hive with Wickedstorm Gaming. We're going to interview very easily the scariest person we've seen in these games, I think, yeah.
The Queen seems to like us, but that may be a simple disguise. In any case, a veteran criminal like her is probably harder to break than to open with the right honeyed words. Boost her ego. That can be a solid tactic. But either playing the good or the bad cop, nothing is impossible if you ask the right questions in the right tone.
Be forewarned, Detective.
Uh-oh.
What you learn here may shake everything you've ever believed in.
You think I believe in anything? It seems your famous senses have failed you.
We'll see, Mr. Featherland. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, she's closer to not liking us than liking us. I really don't want to piss off the Elder God. But how did you become who you are? Or is this some kind of, or is it fad?
Please tell us about yourself, Your Majesty. How did you become who you are?
You'd be surprised how little awareness there was in it. Things happened. Years flew by. And suddenly we found ourselves on this throne.
Lucky coincidences.
There are no coincidences, dear Inspector. We just did what we thought was right.
Right. We rarely hear that from the heads of criminal organizations, if I don't offend you.
What is right for someone, and in what situation, is subjective. We've lived our whole lives by a code of what we thought was right.
Isn't that convenient?
Sometimes it is. Sometimes the opposite.
Hey, she liked it. Let's get to the point. Bodies disappeared. Well, this just immediately took all the. I can't choose. There's only one option.
Let's get to the point. Bodies are disappearing from the cemetery, and the clues have led us here. What do you think? Why?
You're not playing games. We appreciate that.
Oh.
Yes. In a way, we understand that some clues could have led you here. But those can be misleading. We know nothing about the missing bodies.
Yeah.
You don't know about them, or you have nothing to do with them. Big difference.
There
That's
is
good
a big
big
difference.
Yes.
We've heard things.
I was gonna say.
The Great Web is everywhere. And every little bit of information makes its threads twitch. But no, we have nothing to do with them.
Okay, good. Cemetery curator Joe was knocked down. He barely made it alive. Diver says he'd have come from here. This is the only one that's true. Yeah, well, I mean, this one's true. But this one... Like, the only thing we have linking to this place that I know of is the bottle. And, like, anybody can buy a bottle.
Someone was hit with a bottle that had the name of this place on it.
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence?
We don't believe in coincidences, Mr. Featherland. But that doesn't prove that the perpetrator was following our orders.
Yeah.
It's true. It could have been a simple bum or just an angry boozer. Am I right?
Or
For
someone trying to
example.
frame this place, yes.
Still, something's bothering me.
What?
Why the mysterious phrasing? Why didn't you just say you didn't know anything about it? Plain and simple.
Because it wouldn't have been true, Mr. Featherland.
So you do know. Was just a light to the injured. He was scared to death. Why? Because it's an old mob organization. It was a weapon, also a message. Ooh.
Let's say I believe you.
Yes.
Do you think the glass was not just a weapon, but also a message?
An interesting theory, and there may be some truth in it. As the place is well known and has been ours for decades, yes, we can see why you might think that.
So you agree that the clues lead logically here?
If it is a message, we did not send it. It would be foolish to leave a clue like that. unless it leads to a trap. Am I right?
Well, forgive the assumption, but for a spider queen sitting in the middle of the great web, setting a trap seems quite apt.
If so, you would be in big trouble.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
No,
Ooh, lucky us.
not yet. I like you. You're sharp and respectful, most of the time. At least, for a chicken.
You're great at insulting and complimenting at the same time.
Thank you.
Yes. She liked it a little bit. She did a little bit. Suppose I believe it was you. Why did you take action against it? I mean, she's not the police. It's not her job to take action, I guess. I don't know. Pile of missing bodies, a blade trail leading here. What do you make of that? God, they're both good. They're both good. But which one will piss her off less? Yeah,
Suppose I believe that it wasn't
it implies that she has the power to do
take action
something. Yeah?
against it?
You still think we're the feared and dreaded vigilantes of the Hive.
Oh.
Unfortunately, those days are over, Inspector. The Great Web is now more of an information center than a real, viable enterprise.
But information is power, ain't it?
Indeed, it is. But much more so for a place that is not cut off from every other part of the world. We've been enclosed, Mr. Featherland. So the world is slowly but surely passing us by.
Unless you do something about it.
Yes, but that's another story. You know, the people of the Hive don't need the Great Web to express their feelings. Especially their anger.
A hive-sized rebellion, for example.
Indeed.
Of course, neither the city nor the crown wants that. In fact, we don't want it. But sadly, we are no longer the most powerful in the Hive. There are others who say how things are done.
Well, I mean, we know it's the baboon, because the baboon keeps showing up. But there's also that church that may be inciting people to be like, we're all equal, so why are we locked up here? Let's fucking kill everybody and take our rightful places equal to everybody, yeah?
Okay, if it wasn't you, then who was it?
The cults!
Who has the reason and the power to do such a thing?
The Golden Fang clan is well entrenched in the Hive. Thanks in part to them, much of our business is no longer, how shall we say, profitable.
The clan, huh? I heard they've been pretty quiet lately.
The fact that a criminal organization doesn't openly blow things up doesn't mean they're not very present, as you well know, Mr. Featherland. And for all we know, you and your partner are very much responsible for the existence of the clan in the first place.
Really?
Indirectly,
Please,
maybe.
enlighten me.
If the Wessler Empire hadn't fallen, the smaller clans that then waged war for power would never have been born. Am I right?
You are,
Wessler
like I said,
Empire,
indirectly.
huh? That was an old case, Your Majesty. If we hadn't stopped that threat, we might have been in even bigger trouble.
Oh, you really think so? That it could be worse than this? The whole city was ravaged by gangs feuding over the remnants of the Wessler Empire. These gang wars have consumed all the attention of the Crown and the police, leaving nothing left for the Hive. One angry insect, fed up, committed an assassination attempt that eventually led to the Segregation Act. See? After all, it all started when the so-called Chicken Police put the head of the Wessler Empire on ice over some petty, little, private matter.
You know, that's kind of a loose and far-fetched hypothesis.
Oh, we haven't covered everything. But you know that in the big picture, we're perfectly right.
I'm beginning to feel like you're interrogating me and not the other way around.
Oh, please don't. We didn't mean to frighten you.
Then may I continue?
We are at your service.
So, it's the Golden Fang clan that's got you and your people in a tight spot. Am I right?
We're not saying they're responsible for the disappearances. But if it wasn't us, they seem the most likely choice.
I have to agree. Are you willing to talk about them?
To a certain extent, yes. As long as it doesn't harm our interests.
Okay, then let's continue the conversation in this vein.
Wonderfully. Why would the clan need fresh corpse like they do? They can feed it to people. Let's blame someone else, right? What about the clan do with the dead? Why the Hive? That one seems like it's gonna piss her off. Like, that one seems blatantly gonna piss her off. I'm very curious what they could do with the fresh corpse other than eat it.
Why would the clan need a fresh corpse? What can they do with it?
Did you say fresh? How fresh?
Well, the last one was
fresh.
from yesterday. Why? What do you think?
If they were old carcasses, we'd be ignoring it. But fresh meat is a different matter.
Did you
call it
say
meat?
meat?
Have you seen how many insects walk around the hive, missing limbs?
We've had the misfortune to see that, yes.
The Clawvillian gourmets pay fat little fortunes for fresh body parts.
To eat them?
Well, they're not going to put them on display. That's for sure.
So you think the clan sells fresh body parts on the black market?
That could be one
rich
reason
snobs,
for digging up bodies. But it could be something else entirely.
Which is?
Like...
We don't know, Mr. Featherland. You're the detective,
Shit.
not us. But we're sure you'll get to the bottom of it.
I mean, we have to at some point, yes? Why do I feel like you're getting wealthy off of greasy bits too? You really do see anything. What do you think the clan is playing for?
You really do see everything. What do you think the clan is playing for? And where do they get their resources?
For the clan, hiding in the hive was a great idea. But they cut themselves off from the rest of the city with it. So they must have connections or help from beyond the walls.
Indeed.
Another gang? Maybe they've teamed up with someone. The Black Scales. The Furies, maybe.
I don't think so, Mr. Featherland. All the criminal organizations in Clawville are different. But they all have one thing in common. They all want absolute power. That's why they don't really ally themselves with others.
What are you implying?
Oh,
Who can
they got
support
some
them
politician
from
in their pocket or
beyond the
something.
walls?
Whose interest do you think it would be to aid and abet the clan and get them here? Whose interest is it for the hive to slowly bleed itself dry? For someone who has a problem with the very existence of it.
You mean
Yes. Exactly, Mr. Featherland.
sweet, furry, feathered heavens? You claim that the clan is funded by the crown?
We're not saying it is. But the city government is currently benefiting from the fact that the hive is getting on with its little infighting, instead of causing trouble on the big scale. You know, peace negotiations are coming.
What does that have to do with the disappearance of a few bodies of ordinary citizens? Even if it's like you say, isn't that just more fuel for the fire?
It might be. Perhaps it's for a different purpose, Mr. Featherland. That detective, that private eye, who was working on this.
Private Eye?
Frank Castellini. Or, as many called him, half-armed Frank, which we always thought was funny. Because he was only one arm short of 4.
Shit. Frank.
The fool was obsessed with pursuing Mick and the clan. He discovered something significant. Maybe he found out exactly where they were hiding. In any case, it certainly pissed off the monkey. Because Mick's got a big bounty on poor Frank's head.
That's bad.
And we did see in a
really
cutscene like, at
bad.
the start of the game him getting
Well, thank you for telling
basically
me.
gunned up against the wall.
We're surprised to say it ourselves. But we're glad we could help.
You
Yay,
see?
we did good.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't think I could do much better than that. Like, we missed one question.
So Frank Castellini, right? We know him. In fact, I'd say we're friends.
We thought cops didn't like private eyes.
He used to be a
Frank's
cop.
helped us out with a lot in the past. And in return, we'd turn a blind eye when he snooped where he shouldn't have.
There was a time when cooperation between animals and insects was commonplace.
I was just a chick then, Your Majesty. But my partner lived in the Hive's neighborhood for quite some time.
Oh, really?
It used to be a great neighborhood, ma'am.
If this was meant to make us sympathize with you and your cause, you've succeeded.
Oh, really?
You see, we're old and sentimental. But we're something else, too.
Beautiful.
Thank you. But that's not what we meant. We're practical. Which means if you really want our help, you'll have to do something for us in return.
Seems like a fair offer. We're listening.
I feel like it's
Frank
pretty big.
was never a friend, nor an enemy. He's the kind of man who doesn't belong to either side. Always walking in the shades between them. But not so long ago, we had a quarrel. And he's taken something from us that's very dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
You want us to bring back this something?
Bring it back? No, we don't want it back. You won't be able to do that. Just tell us where it is.
The fuck is it?
We'll take care of the rest.
You're being deliberately vague, am I right?
Sometimes it's best if you know exactly what you need to know. If you get the information we want, you can guarantee the Great Web will be on your side when you clash with the Golden Fang clan.
That
When,
sounds...
not if.
We have no doubt that if you follow the trail your friend Frank has set out on, it will eventually lead you to the clan's trap.
Okay,
having
you got
anyone
a
on our
deal.
side would be lovely.
We'll meet again soon.
I look forward to it, detectives. But I'd hurry if I were you. Your friend Frank could be in serious trouble.
Yeah, I think the
hell.
pianist is going to have to
Frank.
wait then.
What has he got himself into?
Exactly
good.
what we're about to get ourselves into, partner. If you're
Where's that
ready.
fucking bird?
What do you mean, ready? I'm always ready.
It's that hawk
In
from the
fact,
last game.
I was born ready.
I don't mean that. I just mean,
The Falcon. Whatever
what's
it's called.
going on with you and Laura? There's enough shit going on. I don't want to stir up any more.
Cluck that. It's what you do best, Boss Bird. And let's keep it that way, okay? You drive, I follow, we get shot at, we survive, but just barely, and most importantly, we don't talk about personal shit. Deal?
You know, buddy, that's the best deal I ever heard.
Now you're talking.
Fuck. Oh boy, you again. Why are you here? How did you get here?
Who do my eyes see?
The one and only Phil Marlowe, private Hawkeye and professional boozer. What's this old featherhead doing here?
Looks like
He
we're
was in
not
the
the only
last
lost
place,
fowl in the
last one, too.
hive.
Not counting that weirdo pianist, of course.
Did we say hi?
Sure we do. I need to know what he's up to. He might even be in similar shoes to ours.
You think so?
I mean, that's what happened
That would
last
be almost
time.
like a crossover episode.
A what?
Never mind.
Fillmore.
I haven't seen him since the Wessler
I was gonna
case.
say.
How long has it been?
Almost 3 years.
We have a timeline.
Exactly. What's happened with him?
From what I see, he's doing pretty well. Apart from his taste. That hat. Ugh. And the scarf. Oh.
And I don't think he drinks less than before.
Not a chance. Sometimes I wonder, someone who's as good a sleuth as he is, when he's drunk, what's he like if he's sober?
We'll never know.
Yeah, probably
He'd
not.
be unstoppable. Also, how bad is this hat? It's just a brown hat. It doesn't look that bad. It don't look that fucking bad. Anyway, I'm going to call it here for today. Like it if you liked it. Subscribe if you want. Share it if you can. And do what you want. Share it to Patreon if you want to support the channel. And I'll see you next time. Have fun. That might have been the best a 13th episode has ever gone. Considering we were talking to a mob boss and very possibly an elder god. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Have fun.